Om Shanti. This is the Avyakt Murli of 27th of November 1978, and the title is Only Those Who Are Indifferent to Temporary Name and Fame are Loved by Everyone. Today, Bap-Dada has especially come to celebrate a meeting with the children. Just as you children are constant yogis, that is, you are constantly absorbed in love for the Father, the ocean of love, so too, the Father, out of love for you children, also constantly sings praise of you. Bap-Dada has a portrait of every child, showing their garland of virtues and divine activity. Bap-Dada constantly has in front of him a huge and a beautiful temple and an art gallery of you living statues. Bap-Dada is constantly looking at each child's portrait and garland. The garland of some is long and the garland of others is short. All of you only have to remember the one Father, whereas Bap-Dada has to remember all of you children. He cannot forget even one of you. If he were to forget anyone, he would have to wear a garland of complaints. You children garland Baba with a garland of complaints, whereas Baba garlands the children with the garland of victory. Children are very clever. You are clever in seeking help, but are number-wise in remaining courageous. You have heard a lot, so what remains to be done now? We simply have to keep on having this meeting. The meeting of this time makes you experience your perfect stage. Therefore, constantly celebrate this meeting. Give the return of what you have heard by becoming a perfect as the Father. Enable all the desperate souls to finish their waiting. Become a perfect image that grants visions and grants them visions. They are now soon to experience extreme sorrow and peacelessness. Now, through your final stage, carry out the task of finishing this sorrow and peacelessness with the utmost intensity. Stabilize in the stage of a master creator and put an end to your creation's difficulties of unlimited sorrow and peacelessness. Play the part of a remover of sorrow and bestower of happiness. Bless your creation with the great donation of your treasures of peace and happiness. Are you able to hear the call of your creation? Or are you still busy in just seeing and hearing your own life story? You have become Trikaldarshi and know the story of your own karma. Do you not? So now, perform every act for the benefit of other souls. Do not speak too much of your own story, saying, "Do something for me, listen to me, spend some time in resolving my problems." Now, become those who ease the difficulties of many others. Understand the philosophy of karma of each one and resolve their difficulties by granting them liberation and salvation. Do not accept facilities, but bestow as a bestower. By accepting some type of support of any type of service or facility for yourself, you can experience temporary self-progress or success in service. However, through that, you would be great today, but would thirst for that greatness tomorrow. You would constantly want some attainment, you would want some name or fame, and through that, you won't be able to become ignorant of desires. Baba is beyond name and form, fame, and therefore the greatest praise is of him. Similarly, when you become indifferent to temporary name and fame, you will automatically be loved by everyone. Renounce even the slightest trace of begging for name and fame. Only such renunciate souls can become bestowers of fortune for the world. You habitually eat the fruit of karma, so you also eat unripe fruit. You do not allow it to grow, to ripen. What happens when you eat unripe fruit? There is some type of fluctuation. In the same way, your stage is disturbed. The fruit of your karma will automatically come to you in its perfect form. The perfect fruit of one elevated action will come to you hundredfold. So you should be ignorant of any temporary desire. When you renounce something, fortune will automatically follow. Desire finishes your good actions. Therefore, become totally ignorant of desire. Let there be total ignorance of even knowing this. You are an embodiment of knowledge, but do not become one who knows this subject too much. This should happen. I did this. I should receive this. Do not consider this to be justice. There should be some justice for me. Someone who asks for justice in this way, someone who asks for anything in any way, will never experience the self to be fully satisfied. Therefore, become a soul who is constantly full and satisfied with all attainments. The slogan of Brahmin life is no wealth is lacking in the treasure store of a master almighty authority. Constantly keep this slogan in your awareness. Now, together with this deep knowledge, let there be deep transformation. Do you find it difficult? You are the Salvation Army who eases all the difficulties of others. Acha, to those who are constantly great donors and bestowers of blessings, to those who are ignorant of temporary desires, to the renunciates who renounce everything for the self and become bestowers of fortune for others, to those who constantly remain full and content, to those who ease the difficulties of others, to the great souls who are equal to the Father, Bapdada's love, remembrance, and Namaste. Personal meeting of Dadis with Bapdada. It is very enjoyable to watch a game at every moment as a player, is it not? The stage of a player makes you experience being constantly cheerful. Anything that people of the world consider to be calamity would be considered to be a game by the players and the spectators. They would experience it to be an entertainment. When you experience the greatest of all calamities to be a sense of entertainment, your stage will be that of a master creator. You show the great destruction to be the means of opening the gates to heaven. There is so much contrast between the great destruction and the gates to heaven. You portray the calamity of the great destruction as a form of entertainment. So too, any small or large calamity should be seen as a form of entertainment. Instead of crying out in distress, let words of wonder emerge from your lips. This is known as the stage like Angad. The stage of a yogi is said to be when even a sorrow is experienced as happiness, and when there is equanimity in happiness and sorrow, in praise and defamation. Do not be influenced by sorrow, even when you know what happiness is and what sorrow is. Consider sorrow to have the greatness of bringing your days of happiness. This is known as being a perfect yogi. To be able to transform enmity into friendship so that no enmity remains is known as having the power of transformation. Someone may come to you as your enemy, but should go back having surrendered to you. This is the praise of the Shaktis. Is such a Shakti army ready? Since you have issued a challenge that you will transform the world, this is nothing difficult. The easy way to achieve this is to become a bestower who gives and not one who takes. Everyone automatically bows down to those who are bestowers. When people are given something, they accept it with their head bowed and eyes lowered to show their humility. That is a physical method, whereas here you bow down through your nature and sanskars. Only then would an enemy surrender to you. So, is such a Shakti army ready? Those from Bombay are celebrating their silver jubilee. You may celebrate your silver jubilee, but you should also celebrate the jubilee of harmonizing your sanskars. Even Bapdada can come to the celebration of this jubilee. He would not come to a jubilee celebration where speeches are made, but he would come to a jubilee where sanskars are harmonized. First of all, you have to make Bombay the example of being constantly victorious and constantly free from obstacles. First, celebrate this jubilee. Let that jubilee be something for awakening people. People nowadays want an embodiment of experience to give them an experience. Those who are abroad have already begun giving experiences to others. The experience they receive is as though some spiritual power is speaking to them through the speaker. Now, spread the wave of this experience in Bharat. Celebrate your silver jubilee in this way. Give them the experience of the highest stage through a relevant topic. Just as one's attitude is transformed when entering a temple, so too plan for them to experience something new as soon as they come to your program, even if this only lasts for a short time. Even the impression of a short time also becomes imprinted on their memory. Do you understand what you now have to do? Acha. Blessing. While living in the world of sorrow, may you become an embodiment of happiness by remaining aware of Baba, the ocean of happiness. Constantly remain aware of Baba, the ocean of happiness, and you will become an embodiment of success. No matter how sorrow and peacelessness influence the world, you remain loving and detached. You are with the ocean of happiness and are therefore constantly happy. You constantly swing in the swing of happiness. You children are master oceans of happiness, and so cannot have the slightest thought of sorrow because you have stepped away from the world of sorrow and reached the confluence age. All strings are broken. Therefore, continue to progress in the waves of the ocean of happiness. Slogan: to stabilize the mind and intellect in one powerful stage is to be in solitude. Om Shanti.